Okay, it's the middle of the night, and the light is terrible, but an update. Okay, first of all, I did get a battery for my car, finally. It took days. I think it took 4 days. And guess what? It's doing it again. So it's not the battery that was it. The battery is draining. The problem is there's something in the car that is causing a short, which so I finally got my mechanic on the phone and talked to him, and he's like, okay, yesterday he was busy checking the afternoon, and I called and called and called, and there was no answer. So clearly he was still busy. So first thing this morning, and again, I work nights, so 8 o'clock in the morning to a normal person, that's the start of the day. To me, that's the middle of my night. I mean, it's after 3 now. Okay. So that is ongoing. I did finally get to a dentist. That also took 4 days. Monday, I found out sort of the details. Tuesday, I went into an emergency clinic, and I was the second person they turned away because they were filled for that day. And it was first come, first serve. Wednesday, I had another doctor's appointment. So I couldn't go. So Thursday, I went in, they looked at it, they said, oh yeah, that's pretty bad. They said that tooth needs to go, and which is like, oh my goodness. They also said that there was a cavity next to the bad tooth, which makes sense, it's just traveling around. And that they wanted to do a comprehensive, which sounds terrible, to check basically every other tooth to see if there's more cavities elsewhere. But the tooth that's got to go, it's stable. It's not loose. It does have a big cavity in it, and it's basically a placeholder now. And they highly suggest that I get it replaced with a fake tooth. There isn't enough of it left to do a crown. Pretty bad. So my insurance would cover an extraction. It would cover a crown. It will not cover getting a new tooth, a replacement tooth. And that's some money. But this is what's really annoying, is that even though there's another cavity in another tooth, it has nothing to do with this one. And even though the dentist says that I'm supposed to have this comprehensive, do my entire mouth thing, they won't do it until I have a consult with somebody who would be replacing that tooth. Which, by the way, they're probably going to want to do the extraction themselves, which I don't think they take the insurance. So I don't even know how much money that's going to be. But the problem with them is they won't answer their phone. And there's literally a message that says, we're here, we're just not answering. We'll call you back sometime. Like, literally, this is the doctor's office. So that's very strange to me. So I feel like I'm making progress and it's just disappearing. As soon as I do something, it's just not actually making an impact. I mean, the other thing I did, which is real, this is like check it off my list. This is one of the things that I have a big problem with um, and actually the primary reason that I go to therapy. When I go to therapy, I'm not going to therapy right now. I don't have time, etc. Is because I lose track of making any kind of progress at all, and I think that um, I'm sort of never going to make any changes at all. So, okay, in addition to all this crap where that's literally exactly what's happening, I'm killing myself to be seen by professionals, and then whatever is happening is not actually fixing any of the problems. This is weird. It's weird that I'm having both of these things happening at once. Um, I'm very actively trying not to work as much because I was working like every day, literally every day. So now I'm getting 2 full days off of work per week, normal. Um, so yesterday was like the equivalent of my Saturday. I spent all day dealing with a dentist. Tomorrow is my equivalent of Sunday, and I'll spend all day at the mechanic. And then actual Saturday and Sunday, I have doubles. I think I'm scheduled for 13 hours both days. And I'm not getting any rest and I'm not sleeping at all. But the thing I did do, see again, this is 2 steps forward, 6 steps back type of feeling. Like I'm used to the pendulum, man. I'm used to it changing. I'm used to things either getting better or worse, but this treading, water is just, it's the worst. I emptied my storage unit because I'm like, why am I wasting money? I had uh, the final storage unit I had was a 5x5. It cost $80 a month and it was about a third full. Why? Why? So I got my kid to help me move it back into the house, which took like 10 minutes. And now he's been bugging me for he helped me, so I have to help him. So he'll like call me up, and he lives like 35 minutes away, and he wants me to drive in to give him a ride for half a mile, and then just drive back. And I'm like, kid, one, you got feet, and two, there are buses. But I feel so bad whenever I turn him down, but I have to. Come on, I have to. Anyway, so I spent all this time with these million boxes in the house and unpack them, and now I've emptied the storage unit and I have another million boxes in the house. And it's like, oh my god, is this ever going to end? I mean, it has ended. There's nothing else to bring in here. There's stuff to leave. Then, I'll empty these boxes and the boxes go away. And then stuff will be stored. Okay. So how is this applying? This is the update. This is the crap. This is why I haven't actually made a video. I made that one. I thought I'd make another one the next day and make another one the next day. And you could see the progress. No progress. No progress. I mean, I guess the good news is I can get my car to work sometimes. The progress is I didn't lose the rest of my tooth. doesn't hurt yet. I'm still on an antibiotic for a sinus infection. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't a sinus infection, that it was like tooth pain, and I just don't recognize tooth pain. I'm like massively worried about all this crap. Can't let it go. But again, the treading water thing is weird, very weird to me. That's very, very rare. It's too bad it's not treading water in a good, like it landed in a good place, and then I'm treading water. I wouldn't trust it at all, but that would be nice. This is definitely strange. It makes time feel like it's going forever. This is why I'm like, it's 4 days for this and 4 days for that. That's a long time. I mean, these are things that I wish that I could have like fixed immediately, and could be fixed if there were people to fix them. Which I guess is the way of the world now, right? There's nobody around to fill any jobs. And so they take forever. But I don't know. I guess it's the first time I've been dealing with this. Really dealing with this. So what is the effect on me? The effect on me is cats that are playing. The effect on me is a lot of anxiety, a lot of, seriously, cat, a lot of depressive type symptoms, like not being able to sleep, that sort of thing, and being exhausted, which makes all decision making more difficult. A lot of catastrophizing. Probably didn't pronounce that correctly because that's for some reason a word that trips me up. And I will like be on myself for saying that and saying it incorrectly. A lot of second guessing my decisions. A lot of really truly wanting to talk to people and reach out to people, and can't do it, cannot do it, you know. This going to the dentist thing is absolutely confronting, totally confronting. I mean, I expected to be yelled at for letting it get that bad, which didn't happen. I feel like I'm not worthy of going to a dentist. We've been over that before. I wish it was going forward, because then I would have some momentum and I would just be like, oh, I've got an appointment, I've got an appointment, I've got an appointment. But for me to have to take the initiative to call my mechanic and say like, got any time? You know? And no, I'm not going to a different mechanic. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, I've had enough new people in my life. Thank you very much. Nobody I can actually talk to, but new people. I don't know. I feel like I'm in absolute stasis. I had videos about it and I took it down because I was like, oh, I keep bullet journals, which are basically to-do lists in a bound book so that, you know, I don't have like lists that I throw out or something like that. I keep them so I can see them and I can see there's progress. I can look back and say, look, I did all these things. I mean, a lot of them are like, you can really tell actually by my mood, by what's I'll sometimes even have lists in there of, because it's so hard for me to get anything, like wash the dishes, take a shower, that sort of thing, in addition to any actual appointments I have. But a lot of it has been like, do this with the unpacking, do this with the, call this person, call that person. I mean, these are big things. I want to beat myself up for not having everything completely already done. But I've done a lot. I really have. And I've done it all by myself. I mean, yeah, I got my kid to take like, 8 boxes upstairs for me. But as far as like any sort of emotional support and somebody saying, you're doing a good job or anything like that, no, nothing. And of course, I want to beat myself up for everything I'm doing and not doing it fast enough, not doing it good enough. This is really not a great situation. And yet, if you look at it, like really look at it, where I was 2 months ago, I was like in the pits of hell. Because there is an open lawsuit um, against my former landlord, and lots of video. And I mean, I listened to those videos of what I was literally living with this person being completely psychotic and doing things like banging on, the walls whenever I was there, and just trying to be the creepiest person on the planet because he wanted to make me leave ahead of my lease, and then he could keep the money and rent to a second person and double his rent. Complete slime bucket. But I have had done, that's done too. Another thing that's done, I had to go through all that video, like so much video. And send it to the lawyer. And looking at that, I mean, in reality, I'm in so much a better place. But all my reserves have, they were completely depleted. I mean, that was bad. That was probably the worst, 4 months straight that I've ever. I mean, I've dealt with other people, like dealing with stuff for my kid, dealing with stuff for my parents. But as far as my own stuff for me alone, that was probably seriously the worst 4 months of my life. And so I'm so much better than that. But I like used all of my energy, got, just nothing left. And so these little things, like not being able to do things timely in the time that I want to do them, and have to keep following up and following up and following up. I mean, yes, this is an avoidant thing. But it wouldn't matter. I'm just no energy at all. And this is because of what the hell I went through this summer. I just haven't been able to. I mean, I'm still exhausted from it. I've actually got like physical things going on with my body that are a direct result of that. And actually, the tooth might have been one of them because I didn't have access to being able to brush my teeth. Um, so physically, mentally, um, just like my energy level, being able to sleep, all that has not returned yet. So this is like little things, plus are happening simultaneously that are just like draining the hell out of me. And I'm like, oh my God, and I have to go on another trip. It's like, it's weeks away, but I feel like, oh, I got to prepare for it. Oh my God. Can't do it, can't do it, can't do it, can't deal with the people, can't. I mean, it'll be good when I do it. The trip I did last month, I felt the exact same way. I was like, this is impossible. And it was so great. It was exactly what I needed. It was like a completely different environment, total refresh. And it was like literally driving around LA in the Hollywood Hills in a rental car, trying to follow a GPS that was mad and telling me to go up all these little streets. It was like the best part because I was just like, could relax. I didn't have a deadline immediately. I could just like drive around for an hour and it was okay. I didn't have 50 million things hanging in the back of my head that I needed to do. This was supposed to be short. Um, but yeah, it's hard for me to tease out exactly what this is. This is why, you know, a lot of times avoidant type behavior and depression and anxiety is actually caused by something. And if you can fix the something, then it will maybe get better. I'm running into brick walls trying to fix the things. I mean, who knows? Maybe by tomorrow I can have some headroom going in my car. And that'll be one more thing to get off the list. Maybe by tomorrow the car will be off of my anxiety list. And so then I'll have enough, sort of mental energy to move some of these boxes. And then that will get better. And it will slowly, slowly get better. Maybe. But that's where I am. I'm sort of stuck in this stasis type thing. And then again, this weekend, I'm going to be working a crazy number of hours, which is good because I'm going to need to pay for the car and pay, I don't even want to know how much for this tooth. No idea. But I have to basically harass this doctor's office into giving me a consult appointment, which hopefully can. I don't know. I mean, if I get the consult appointment and it's like 6 months out, then I'll call the regular dentist and see if they can get going with the other stuff instead of waiting. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Wait for a consult that they have no control over. It's not like they're going to go, oh, a consult. Ooh, yeah, we'll just pop you right in. Everything is taking forever. As far as getting appointments for anything, it's awful. Anyway, that's the update. The update is it's dragging me down. This treading water thing. Possibility that things can get better quickly. It's not because I'm dependent on other people, but there's a possibility it could, and hasn't happened yet. So, in case you were wondering what's going on is nothing. What's going on is I attempted to fix and actually tried to get appointments to fix both things and actually like got stuff done, but it didn't get anything done. So I'm right back where I'm at, and I don't know. That's what's happening. you know, At some point, it will either get better or worse. But right now, it's just the same. And my opinion, because I'm used to the pendulum, I'm used to things either getting better or worse, never staying the same. This staying the same is so weird to me that it's actually worse than either better or worse. I think. I don't. Anyway, that's what's going on. Bye.